Okay, Sherry, I don't have the newest one of yours, so I'm just using the old one. So some of your stuff may have the instance name of trees 1, rock 5, snowflake 2. These are coming in from Illustrator from that generic symbol that you were using. By the way, this looks awesome, and I'm not disparaging you using them because I think that they're an awesome use of the Illustrator symbols. But the problem is that Illustrator makes them way more complicated in the background than I even know why they make them that complicated. So, like I looked at some of these trees back here, and some of them didn't have an instance name. But if I look at this one and just double click in the scene, and then I click on one of these, let's double click to get one more. Now you can see that that movie clip has an instance name of trees 1. So this one has an instance name of trees 1 too. And with instance names, you can only have one thing with that name. So you can either make this trees 2, but see, you don't really need an instance name for these because they're just all a part of that scene. They're not meant to be animated on their own. So maybe the entire front area, like you had, is part, or this whole thing is a movie clip, which makes sense because, you know, we might want to move that or pan it or whatever. But in this instance, you don't need all of these internal things to be movie clips. So you can just have those as graphics. Now the problem is when you use a symbol in Illustrator, it automatically makes it a symbol. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to start with a brand new document. And drag those trees on there, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so we can see what's happening. So now in this, when I go here, oops, let me change the panel options so we can see it much bigger. Okay, so when we look at this and we toggle it down, you can see that it has the instance name of trees 1. So, and it doesn't have any further layers. Now if we double click, it'll say, do you want to edit this symbol? And you can edit, change the color, whatever. I'm going to hit cancel. So what we want to do with this particular set of trees is do right click and break link to symbol. And when you break the link to the symbol, what it does is it basically just makes it a vector graphic. So it no longer has the symbol name. Now we have trees 1 still as this like sub layer, and then we have this group, and then we have this group, and then it's part of these 3 trees. So we can right click and ungroup, 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 ungroup. So now we're back here to trees 1, and it's made up of all the different paths that make up that tree. So you could, let's see, I don't know why you would want to do this, but then we have another group in here with a path inside of it. So we turn that group on. It's just this green, right click on group. Okay, so there everything is just a regular path except for that one. I don't even know that you have to do all this, but I just wanted to show you. All right, so once you make it all path, it's pretty much the, man, I keep running into these. It's pretty much just a basic vector project. So now all of these are able to, there we go. So we can kind of get rid of that trees 1 layer. Now we just have the path, and it's just a basic tree. Now we could right click and group these, and there you just have a basic group. So see how we have these little angle brackets? So it's no longer kind of instance names. So once you have that one, you should be able to, you know, alt and drag and make as many as you want to make your scene, but they shouldn't have any of those instance names. Now the other thing you can do is you can just Command C, come back in here to a brand new document, which I've already done, and do Command V, and it'll say, do you want to paste as bitmap, or do you want to paste using AI importer preferences? We'll just go ahead and do that. And it's still a group, and we can get in here and get into each of the individual pieces and change them as needed. But now you can just create your scene with that graphic on your own. It still comes in as MC tree group. No, I think I made that. Cancel. Right click, delete. I made that earlier when I was testing this out. So now with this grouped, like I said, you don't really need it to be its own movie clip symbol. Maybe you want the entire scene, and maybe you do want one or two trees to be like, maybe if they're going to part so we can see the bear in the background or whatever. So maybe those two that you intend to move, those two groups that you intend to move, you do make those as movie clip symbols. So I hope this helps. I'm not quite sure what your animation is because I can't see, it's too slow. So I'm not sure if you're going to need these to be movie clips or not, but that's where you're running into the instance name, is because it's automatically built into the symbols in Illustrator, and you just kind of have to break it down until you can then regroup it and just make it regular path.